LoreFi is an ARG created by the former host of game theory, MatPat's. And before he retired from his theory channels, he made a big emphasis on his new ARG that he was working on.
Things like, for instance, I have a lo-fi mystery series that I think you're really gonna dig. It's basically like if you took a lo-fi channel and applied an ARG narrative to it, it becomes LoreFi.
But it's been some time now since MatPat retired, and LoreFi has actually started a few months ago as of recording this, and it hasn't received that much coverage. Only a few channels have looked into it, which is why I'm joining the race. Hi, we're gonna take a look at the story behind this ARG and see how deep it really goes. At this very moment, the ARG is still ongoing, so there is numerous clues and codes that have not been cracked yet. So we are gonna go with what we have right now. But anyways, let's get started on forming our own theories. Welcome to the music-based ARG called LoreFi. We're gonna get started finding the earliest clues regarding LoreFi, which would be in the promotional material, particularly in this video right here, titled Minecraft Mobs Were Created to Save Us. It's just a regular game theory video, but watching it, you'll notice something odd appearing every minute or so.
4. The mobs and weapons left behind reveal they weren't.
This antivirus notification. It says here, attempting to remove threat. This appears 2 times before it says, threats blocked. We blocked 1 or more programs from suspiciously accessing your files. All good. Seems like there's nothing to worry about. Until the threat notification appears onto the screen again.
Keys theorists, because we are going to unlock.
Then suddenly, the threat fully infiltrates the computer. Text begins appearing on the screen.
Interesting. Most are able to catch me infecting their systems. Impressive. Perhaps they can entertain me a little bit more. Find me. Before I find you.
A duck then glitches on the screen with the date of July 13th. There was also this strange sound playing when the duck appeared. If we put this audio through a spectrogram, we get these symbols right here. And if we translate it from a translator from an old game theory ARG, we get this string of numbers right here. And I hate to say it, but we are not totally sure what the numbers mean as of yet. But I think it's safe to say that they will translate into something eventually. We just have to wait. Now, nitpicking this video a little bit more gives us the idea that this entire ARG will have some kind of cyber theme to it. And if you've noticed, the text on the screen keeps changing colors: blue, green, and red. The colors of the text could possibly be meant to convey the emotion being presented. Blue is curiosity and novelty. Green is an objective statement. And red is anger and evil, I guess. Hey, it's Editing Aiden here, and actually I have another theory that no one has pointed out yet. So instead of the colors of the text representing the emotions being presented, I actually think the colors are just representing the RBG color model, because the main colors in it is blue, red, and green, hence RBG. Now there's a good chance that you might be thinking, I don't really know what the RBG color model's purpose is. Well, what does it do? Well, you're probably watching this video on either a computer monitor, cell phone, or TV screen. Have you noticed that there's colors everywhere? You can see colors in this video. That's basically what RBG is. It's the colors inside of your screen. So that adds a lot of substance to the cyber theme of this ARG. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Now, on the date of July 13th, we get more clues from this FNAF theory video right here. And MatPat comes out of retirement to tell us more about the LoreFi ARG and some extra things that we should probably know about.
Is the crying child actually Cassidy? Ladies and gentlemen, it's.
Hey Tom, what you doing?
Oh, hey Matt, I'm kind of in the middle of solving FNAF.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure you have a theory that changes everything. A clue that we missed?
Kinda, yeah.
Perfect. Well, before you fire up the old Golden Freddy thumbnail and then slap a dark truth on that, I've got another puzzle for you to solve. LoreFi. It's the music-based mystery project that I've been working on.
He also dives into a few other details about the ARG that will be important to keep in mind.
Basically, it's what you get if you have Lo-Fi Girl, but you mix in a murder mystery.
Because who hasn't ever wondered that?
I know! But the good news is you don't have to wonder anymore, because episode 1 is finally ready. On one level, you can just study and relax and sleep to the music that you're listening to. In fact, you've been listening to one of the tracks this whole time. And there's gonna be new music releasing every week on our LoreFi Spotify channel. But you know what? If you want to go a level deeper, hidden within some of that music and the videos that exist here on YouTube, there are clues pointing at the story of a missing kid. A missing kid named Gregory.
Gregory? Seriously, Matt?
Yeah, hear me out. Yeah, I got nothing. I just wanted to meme on the name. Good news though, my Gregory, not a robot.
Yeah, sure. For now. I assume you put a link in the description on your way in.
I did indeed, sir. And people should definitely click on it because, like I said, there's gonna be new secrets waiting to be discovered every week over on Spotify and a new animation dropping roughly once a month and a half here on YouTube. All as we help a new character, Taylor, solve the deadly game that she accidentally finds herself trapped.
Now, highlighting those extra details, we have a Lo-Fi Girl murder mystery, but the main character is named Taylor. MatPat also mentions a missing boy named Gregory, so we're gonna keep that in our back pocket as well. Now, moving on to the LoreFi YouTube channel, we can see that there is a 24-hour live stream that is playing chill lo-fi beats. With this, the profile picture is of a duck with headphones, reminiscent to the duck earlier. Now, looking at the description of this channel, it reads like this. LoreFi is a lo-fi music channel where chill beats and thrilling story come together. Kick back and enjoy the smooth grooves, or unlock secret lore to discover the dark and mysterious conspiracy underneath the surface. Join Taylor as she tries to uncover the mystery behind a sinister computer virus and the threat behind it all. Can they stop it before it strikes? Beats will be the key. An ARG music experience from the minds of game theory, film theory, etc. You get the point. This description tells us that we should be analyzing all of the music that drops. For all we know, there might be clues hidden in the beat per minute for the songs, or there could be more spectrograms in the music, so that's something to look towards. And like MatPat said earlier, there will be a new song dropping once per week.
Because like I said, there's gonna be new secrets waiting to be discovered every week over on Spotify and a new animation dropping roughly once a month and a half here on YouTube.
So we have a lot of material to look into. Now, the first video to start the bulk of our investigation will be the first video on the YouTube channel, which was also used as a teaser for this entire ARG.
And it's a new project that is coming to you guys July 13th. The mystery begins, and we have a teaser. Can we throw it up? There we go.
In this video, we can see our protagonist, Taylor, sleeping with her head on the desk facing her glowing monitor. On her desk, next to her monitor, are tickets to a concert called Remnant, with the date of July 13th, which is the date before this video released. On the computer screen, we can see that Taylor is downloading a bunch of different music files from a program called Grapevine. During the downloads, a message pops up from a user named AR Vulpix that reads, "OMG, OMG, OMG, Wayne just dropped this month's track and it rocks so hard. Download yet?" Soon after that message though, a zip file begins downloading on Grapevine, and the moment it started downloading, the computer began to break down. And then the cursor begins moving on its own. Someone is remotely controlling Taylor's computer. It tabs out of Grapevine and reveals Taylor's desktop, with her wallpaper displaying, I'm assuming, Taylor's favorite band, Remnant. The cursor hovers to the webcam app and activates it, then starts recording Taylor. Now, something to note is that we should probably be suspicious of whoever AR Vulpix is, just due to the timing of them sending that message and Taylor's system downloading that dangerous file. It's not a confirmation or anything, it's just something to look out for. Something else to note is that in the trash bin under her desk, we can see a torn up newspaper from the Chicago Tribune that covers a story of a local boy going missing, but unfortunately this is all we can see. It does tell us though that Taylor probably lives in Chicago, and just due to the fact that MatPat's said that there was going to be a missing boy named Gregory in the ARG, I'm assuming that newspaper was referring to Gregory. The fact that the newspaper is thrown in the trash though is a little bit odd. Some people have theorized that this means that Taylor has little to no connection to the boy, but I find it a little bit strange how the newspaper seemed to be torn. This tells me that Taylor might at the very least have some vague connection to the boy, whether he's a friend of a friend or Taylor knows something that happened to him. Regardless, it's just a theory. A game theory. So let's jump into the next LoreFi video. Taylor's story. Essentially, this video is just a 1 hour and 26-minute video of Taylor sitting in her room taking a break from downloading music. But throughout the video, a bunch of really important things happen that we should definitely be taking a note of. In the opening of the video, we hear a message from Gregory.
Hello, my name is Gregory Daniels. I'm 12 years old. I live at 3251 Spring Lake Drive, and I have been kidnapped.
Now let's take note of the address that Gregory has left us. There are multiple addresses that have the same characters as this one, and one of them is located in Chicago. Let's just tell nobody go to this address. Fuck, I don't know how to. Yeah, this is problematic. Fuck, I give up. I'm pointing out this address specifically just because it's in Chicago. The paper underneath Taylor's desk says local boy, so I'm assuming Taylor and Gregory, I'm assuming they both live nearby each other. Reading the description of the video though gives us a odd message. It is just another perfectly normal afternoon for Taylor, taking a break from studying and downloading some of her personal favorite lo-fi music tracks. Little does she know, this relaxing music session comes with an uninvited guest. Now, something to note, there are a bunch of weird out of place capital letters in this description, and putting them together gives us keep looking, which is referring to us needing to pay very close attention to every single detail in this video, cause there are clues everywhere. There's even Braille on the poster. By the way, buy the Braille merch. This is actually not for sale, but there's a t-shirt. Buy the t-shirt right now. Don't smile, because Braille is used to read when you cannot see the
Did a YouTuber really just explain what Braille is?
I think it's safe to assume though that the uninvited guest is probably whoever was controlling Taylor's computer from the last video, because they most definitely still have access to it. Now let's start looking into the details in Taylor's room. On the wall, Taylor has pictures of her and her friends together, and also an A+ assignment, which if we go into 4K resolution, because we couldn't read it in 1080p, so in 4K resolution, it reads like this. The enigma of online connections, disappearances, and the unyielding march of time. Then we have this drawing here with Taylor's signature, which oddly has a devil tail and an angel halo on it. There's also this note from her friends that reads, Dear Taylor, we hope you feel better soon. The other day we saw your drawing at school, and it was sweet. This is interesting because it tells us that Taylor wasn't feeling well. Something else to note is that Taylor has tickets to her favorite band called Remnant, and this is for the date of July 13th. But we do have that 24-hour live stream of Taylor, and many people pointed out how Taylor never left her room to go to the concert. She was just sitting in her room listening to music. So my guess is that she isn't feeling well, so she skipped the concert. I'm not sure if that's emotionally not feeling well or if that is health-wise not feeling well. Now, much of the context from this letter is blocked by Taylor's computer monitor, but guessing what the missing words are, it reads something kind of like this. And we found new songs too. We'll tell you more about it when you come back. Love, Peeps. Now, it's obvious that this person or persons that wrote this letter is close to Taylor. It's even possible that this letter could be from AR Vulpix, just judging by the fact that they both like to talk about music. It is interesting that the letter seems to mention how Taylor hasn't been feeling well recently, and we can see that Taylor has been stuck in her room for a while, just judging by the fact that she has some dishes left on her desk and whatever the fuck that is, gamer juice? I heard one person's theory on what could possibly be in that cup, and they suggested that it could be Chicago river water, because every year Chicago dyes their river green for St. Patrick's Day. But I just have so many reasons why I don't think that's the case. Like, why on earth would you be drinking river water? That's crazy. So for the sake of just keeping this a little bit real, I think it's just a health shake because she's kind of ill. Now, anyways, right next to the note that we were just looking at is a green disc that seems to be used as a to-do list. It reads, get new tracks, draw new art, more snacks, grapevine, but it also reads call dad, and it's crossed out with red marker, and next to it, it says not, and that's also crossed out, so that's a little confusing. So it seems like there's a lot of animosity between her and her father. What gives more evidence to this is on Taylor's desk, there is a group photograph of, well, Taylor, her mother, and her father, scribbled out with red marker, and a red skull over his face. Above the photograph of the father is a drawing of a creepy silhouette, peeking through a door. Judging by the close proximity of these two photos, I'm assuming that the father is supposed to be the silhouette, and we actually end up seeing something very similar to the silhouette peek through Taylor's door in the live stream. But the weird thing is, Taylor doesn't react shocked or scared. In fact, she just gives a nod and goes back to listening to her music. The silhouette that peeked through Taylor's door during the live stream looks very similar to the one in the drawing. So I'm assuming if the one in the drawing is her father, since Taylor didn't go ballistic when she saw the silhouette peek through her door, I'm assuming that is Taylor's mother, maybe just checking in on her. I'm also thinking that this is her mother because I don't think her dad lives with them, because during this live stream, Taylor receives a message from someone called Cool Dad 1962. That reads, hey kiddo, how are you? This message tells us that Taylor's dad probably isn't living with them. If he was, he could have just gone to Taylor's room and asked how she was. This message also tells us that Taylor's dad cares about her. Even though Taylor seems to be mad at her dad for something, her dad still cares about her and is just hoping she's alright. And I know I said 2 things, but there's actually 3 things. Her dad's username also gives us the birth year of the father, which means we can start to narrow down how old the dad is. So now we need to figure out what year is it in the ARG. Now, if we look at the CDs on Taylor's floor, one reads the best of 2000s, and there's also some VHS tapes that read Christmas 02, and another one reads year 2000. There's also a book written from John Green that was released in 2005. I was born in 2005. I'm part of this ARG. So my guess is that this ARG is taking place in either July of 2005 or July of 2006, which would mark the father's age at 42 to 43. It should also be mentioned, throughout this entire video, Taylor's computer kept receiving antivirus notifications, but it doesn't seem like the antivirus stopped anything, because Taylor's webcam ended up turning on to watch her while she didn't know, which tells us what the description was referring to by uninvited guest. It should also be noted that next to Taylor's computer was a piece of paper that says the butterfly effect, which is a concept that refers to small actions can have large consequences over time. It's often illustrated by the idea that a flap of a butterfly's wings could eventually lead to a distant and powerful event, like a hurricane or a tornado. Now, at this very moment, there's not a lot of information telling us how the butterfly effect is canon to this universe, but something's telling me that this is gonna end up being a very important aspect to the ARG eventually. So we're gonna hold on to that and put it in the back of our pocket. Another detail is that in Taylor's trash bin, there's a piece of paper that reads unlocked for weeks, no chat, which leads me to think that she might be referring to Gregory. Now we know at this very time, Gregory is missing. And yes, this could be a red herring, but let's remember, Taylor did completely just rip up a newspaper referring to a missing boy, and they both went into the trash bin. I think I got myself a pretty good theory right now. At this very moment, I'm running with the idea that Taylor has a vague connection to Gregory. That's my thought, at least. Now, at the end of this video, it begins to fade out with one last message from Gregory.
What do you want me to do? You want me to... Okay.
Now with this message, jumping into the LoreFi Spotify, this creator— sorry, but I'm interrupting for a minute. I actually cannot find the channel that made the theory that I'm about to reference right here. So I'm just gonna show you all the channels that I noted information from. Here we have Star Infinity, Dasha, and Play Master Plus. Their links are in the description, check them out. This creator pointed out how the EP insert coin connects to the boy's last dialogue. Right on time.
What do you want me to do?
This way, I'll show you.
You want me to?
Insert coin in the system.
Okay.
It connects perfectly, but since that guy's video, the EP actually got an extended version with a new song called Streets of Chill, which at the end of the song, it plays us a really strange sound. Putting this through a spectrogram gives us this map right here. Now, it took some time to figure out where this map was located, but it was eventually uncovered that this is a map of the border of Indiana and Chicago, Illinois, which is kind of strange because this is the first mention of Indiana having any remote part of this ARG. And looking at the LoreFi Spotify for clues of where this could take place, all directions point towards Chicago. For example, this song right here called Windy Town is referring to Chicago because Chicago is commonly named the Windy City. Also, we have another song called Cloudgate. Now, what possibly could be a Cloudgate? It's the bean. I don't know if you know about the bean, but if you know about Chicago, you know about the bean. I had no idea it was called Cloudgate, but now you know. There's also this song right here called Grasslands, which Indiana has some grassland, but Illinois is majority grassland. So all clues point towards Illinois, but for some reason we do have an image of Indiana, so I'm pretty excited to see how Indiana is implemented in this ARG. Another note from the Spotify was pointed out by this YouTuber here called Star Infinity, and I will let them explain right here.
You start to see the pieces being sewn together. I especially found some lore in the EP called Memories on Repeat. Just look at these titles and you'll see that Taylor has bits and pieces of Gregory in her mind. Lucidity, Memories on Repeat, Profound Vision, Remember Me, 3251, Dreams Lost, Stay With Me, Gentle Touch, Branching Path, and Become Whole. I'd like to mention that Lucidity is a title that appears twice, once on the Memories on Repeat EP and again on the New Game Plus single. What this sounds like to me is that Taylor is having these lucid dreams and memories of Gregory. What's funny is that lucid dreams are most common during REM sleep. So does this mean that Taylor is in a sleep state while awake?
Sorry, I just want to interrupt this broadcast for a minute. His actual name is Star Infinity. I ended up messing it up by accident, but yeah, you can go ahead and watch his full theory on his channel. He goes into full length about it all, and it's pretty interesting, so you should go check it out. Now, after the video Taylor's story, LoreFi uploaded another video titled Infected, referring to Taylor's infected computer. In this video, you can see Taylor downloading some music, but then decides to turn her computer off and hit the hay. But then suddenly, an entity or a person starts to control her computer. So when Taylor's computer ended up getting hacked here, you can see a duck entity appearing on the screen, which kind of makes me think that maybe the duck is referring to the hacker. I heard someone's theory, I'll put them on the screen. They mentioned that the duck could be referring to Taylor because Taylor is constantly wearing headphones, and the duck, there's some imagery of the duck wearing headphones as well. But that's not conclusive just because that theory was created before this ARG was released, so we're going with what we know right now. Now, going further in the video, the hacker seems to be very interested in Taylor's private messages, which tells me that Taylor probably does have a personal connection to the hacker, because why else would they be interested in Taylor's private life? Now, since the hacker went through all of Taylor's private messages and private emails, we ended up seeing all of those private messages in private emails. So we can do a little bit of digging here. Now, one email goes as follows. Taylor sent her father an email that reads, "I know what you did." And reading through her father's response to that email is honestly very depressing. "I understand you're mad. There's a lot more to this than you think. I know your mother is upset, but that doesn't mean she's completely innocent. There are reasons things ended up the way that they did. Can we please just talk? I don't like this whole emailing back and forth. I don't feel like I can get what I need to say through this. Just give me a chance. your father. Now, this message confirms that some kind of separation happened between Taylor's father and her mother. And it's clear that Taylor is on her mother's side and believes that the father did some kind of wrongdoing. It doesn't quite tell us, though, what the full story is. Taylor's dad does allude to the mother doing some sort of wrongdoing, but it doesn't look like Taylor read or applied to her dad's message. The hacker ended up going through Taylor's Messenger app, revealing this message right here from Cool Dad 1962, her father. Hey kiddo, how are you? Did you read my email? But it seems like Taylor is ignoring her father because she hasn't replied. There is a chance though that Taylor's mom is in the wrong here though, and she is just manipulating Taylor into believing that her father is a bad person. But we don't have enough information to confirm anything here. But by the looks of it, both her and her parents seem to care very deeply about Taylor, that's good, that's nice. Something else to note is that in Taylor's email, it contains the number 89 at the end, most likely referring to her birth date. So since this is taking place in the early 2000s, this would set Taylor's age at around 16 to 17 years old. And reading through Taylor's messages with her friends, it also tells us that lots of them are just using Taylor for their own benefit. One of her friends asking Taylor to do the entire school project, and another one just asking Taylor to engage with their post because it flopped. That's relatable. I do that all the time. And well, Taylor complies with it, and she doesn't stand up for herself. But thankfully, some people do seem to be nice. For example, this person right here who is giving Taylor constructive criticism on her artwork. She even asked how Taylor did in a drawing contest, which reading through her emails was a contest to see who could create the best album art for her favorite band, Remnant. She said though that she got second place, and she was kind of bummed about it. Just barely winning. Now, after the hacker was creeping on Taylor's messages, they started to do a lot of stuff. They created a remote connection to Taylor's computer and copy and pasted all of her files and passwords into a zip file. They then transferred the zip file to their personal computer and deleted all evidence of Taylor's computer being tampered with. It should be noted though that the hacker's IP seems to be captured on the video. But I was reading through a bunch of Reddit posts and one comment suggested that the IP couldn't be a valid one just because it has the numbers 411. Even though it's not a valid IP, it might be an important number later. In fact, it will probably be an important number later. So let's put that in the back of our pocket. Now moving on into the description of this video, here it says good night and sweet dreams, pretty much confirming to us that Taylor, when she left her computer, was going to sleep. Now below that though is a string of binary code, and when decoded gives us the journey starts on the streets of Chill. And something to note, at the beginning of the video, you can briefly see the song Streets of Chill being downloaded to Taylor's computer. And remember, after putting the song Streets of Chill in a spectrogram, we got the map of Illinois and Indiana. So it's probably alluding to the fact that the journey is starting on the streets of those states. Another clue that we got from the description is that we have this list of tags here, and weirdly enough, at the end of these tags you have the word Leviticus. And now hold on to that, because in a few of the words in the tags was some random numbers, but they weren't random. Putting them together gives us 1911. Leviticus 1911. This leads us to the Bible. Chapter 19, verse 11. You shall not steal, you shall not deal falsely, and you shall not lie to one another. Now, how does this relate to the story? Now, it might not click in your head right away, but highlighting the beginning of this verse actually gives us the reason why Taylor is being targeted by this hacker. You shall not steal. Now, throughout this entire video, I have stated multiple times that Taylor is downloading music. I'd never mentioned that she was stealing music. Now, all we know really is that she's downloading music. But, you know, in the early 2000s, it was pretty common culture to just pirate music. A lot of people would get away with that and share it within friend groups. So I think this is feeding us the idea that Taylor is actually a thief. She was stealing music, which ended up leading her to download that malicious zip file. All of the puzzles are kind of coming together. Now, another note is that you shall not deal falsely, and you shall not lie to one another. This could possibly be relating to Taylor's parents and how either the mother or the father is trying to deceive Taylor into believing that the other one is bad and not to be trusted. This might mean that one of Taylor's parents is going to experience some major consequences for their actions. And I think the consequences could possibly even be for the parents to lose their child, Taylor. It's clear that both of her parents love Taylor, and if one or both of them are lying, losing Taylor would be one of the worst things that could happen to them. The worst part is, she has no idea what danger she's in. Also, thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel. We actually have a lot of members now, so we have My Music, Trix, who is an Ally V2, sick. We have Autumn, we have Ral, the Crabman, Smiley Toad, Lenati, and For the Funny, who is also an Ally V2. Thank you so much to my channel members. You guys are very cool. Regardless, on the topic of ARGs, did you know that JSchlatt and Tommy Innit are currently making something similar? Go ahead and watch this video right here. It's really weird and wacky. It's like an animal kind of theme. Also, thank you so much for 18,000 subscribers. We're almost at 20K. Please subscribe.